Hi guys, my name is Archana Raman and I'm a pediatric occupational therapist, and today we're going to be talking about the topic of how to wean your child from bottle dependency to either spoon feeding or drinking from a cup. So what qualifies me to address this subject is that I'm a certified feeding specialist from one of the leading specialist course delivers in the States. And so there are a few points that I'm going to cover today, and do try following them and let me know how it went for you in the comments box below. The first tip I'd like to offer is when you try to wean your child or get your child from feeding bottle dependency to either spoon feeding or drinking from a cup, ensure that you do this when it's a stress-free period for you and the baby. What I mean by that is, let's imagine you're moving homes and you've just moved to a new home. Do not attempt this during that time. Also, let's assume one of the parent or caregiver is traveling away for a month, or you are moving the baby's bedrooms or baby's nursery where you usually feed the baby. Don't attempt this immediately after. Give it a bit of a time. And also, if the baby has had some kind of an illness, say if the baby has had a few days of chest cold or a fever, don't attempt this immediately after. Children are quite capable of picking up subtle signals of stress, even though we may not actively be communicating it to them, as you are already aware. So they have these specific neurons in their brain which, like the mirror neurons, are capable of reading what's happening in the mother's face, the father's face, and the caregiver's face around them, and they pick up these subtle messages of what's going on emotionally in another person. So introduce this weaning of a bottle during a stress-free period. The second thing is consistency, and what I mean by that is, as mothers, most of us have a fuzzy memory after the baby's birth because we're doing a lot. Of course, this memory comes back to us. If you want to introduce a cup or spoon feeding and remove the bottle totally, do not attempt it for 4 days and then forget about it for a few days and then reintroduce this. So stick to a little timetable. You can keep a little chart of 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m. I'm going to introduce a cup at these times. Have this little list at a place where you will see every day, like the front of your fridge or on the kitchen countertop or in front of your wardrobe, and make it a point to check it off that you've introduced a cup to the child at these specific times. It may be even for playing purposes. The child can just mouth the cup or bang the cup, or he might just, you can keep it in front of his plate for the child to then have a look into it. It doesn't have to be straight away picking up the cup and drinking from it, but give it consistently, morning, afternoon, evening, and do it every day without fail, so that a routine forms in the child's brain that now we are being introduced to drinking from a cup and being introduced to eating from a plate. The next thing is, remember to let all the caregivers in the family know that you're doing this. So as the main caregiver, as the mom, most of us are employed these days, or we might step out to do some shopping, or we may just have to leave the baby for a few hours in the hands of either someone who's a nanny or grandparents or the dad, anyone else who cares for the child in our absence. So let them also know that in our absence, hey, I'm introducing, I'm moving on from a bottle and I'm moving on to a cup now. So when I'm away, please give the child a little bit of fluid to drink from a cup. First, ensure that the child is able to do that properly and they're ready for a cup. And then tell the caregivers that, okay, at 8 a.m., please introduce this, 12 p.m., 4 p.m., and such times. Now, these are not set times that I'm suggesting. These are just times for a few examples that you can consider when you're doing this. The fourth thing I want you to consider is the kind of cup that you introduce to the child. I'll do a separate video on the different types of cups that will help your child. But as a brief introduction today, between the ages of 3 to 6 months of age, introduce small cups to your child. Now I have a little stainless steel cup here, and look at the size of my palm. So this is about this tiny. You can even find cups that are smaller than this. So what will now happen is the child has a small grip area of space in their hand to grip a cup. When you give these standard cups to hold, they need a larger adult size grip or even a toddler size grip. Give them smaller cups to hold so that they can then practice holding these empty cups and using it as a toy, taking it to their mouth or even mouthing it. Taking it to their mouth, licking it, and that way they get used to holding a cup. The other useful cup is this one, which has graduation of how many mils of fluid, and excuse the dirt and the mess. It's an old cup, and it has both handles to drink from, and it gives a very nice grip to the child. So you can type in the search words of cups with both side handles for children on Amazon. Now if you happen to live in rural areas, or you are under a lockdown and have geographical access issues to shops, you could get wooden cups made from your local carpenter, or even use coconut shells as cups nowadays. And then you could get your carpenter to make 2 C-shape handles, and Fevikwik or nice screws hold these onto cups. And they could be used, they could be polished and varnished and used as drinking cups. They're safe to use. The other cup that you can use is cups with these lids on, where the liquid doesn't spill on the child, and there's a little opening here. Now there are cups that also have spouts, so a little nose type thing that comes out, and the child holds it and practices drinking from it. So next thing is, sucking is a very calming and self-regulating action for a baby and a little child. So a lot of children, you will notice, do not come off the bottle very easily. So what you can then do is replace the sucking and comfort giving by giving them a dummy or a pacifier. Now when you give a dummy or pacifier, there are 2 important points. Do not give it for a long period of time, and do not put it in their mouths when they're sleeping, because this then becomes a habit, and it takes a few years for the child to come off the dummy. You'll have to get into another big struggle with the child to get them off the dummy. So if you use the dummy for prolonged periods of time with the baby will have delayed speech, and also their jaw could develop into a different pattern. The jaw might develop differently. So that's another thing. And the 6th point is, you could offer a replacement instead of warm milk from a bottle when the child goes to sleep at night. A lot of children need this warm milk at night and this sucking movement to put themselves to sleep. So instead of doing this, what you could do is offer them something of comfort. Like I have a little travel pillow. It's a nice micro beads squishy pillow. Sometimes you even get pillows that could be gently warmed up with your hand, and when you give it to the child, it gives a nice warmth and squishy feeling, and the child will go to sleep in a little bit of time. You could also give old soft blankets. You could give old saris, cotton saris, quilts, and also teddy bears. If you're co-sleeping with your child, you could hug the child before they go to sleep, because it gives the child this neutral warmth, and the child will find it very comforting, and this could be a good replacement for the bottle at night. I'm not saying that the child has to come off warm milk, but we are trying to get the bottle from the child. So as an interim measure, you could offer all this. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and if you did, let us know by giving us a like and subscribing to our channel, and also hit the bell notification button below, so that you come to know of the future videos that we are posting. We also have given links of our social media sites and our website down below. I offer feeding consultations to parents who are struggling with fussy eating, children with who won't take more than 20 foods, who won't try fruits, vegetables, or new foods. So I've left my email and my WhatsApp number down below for you to get in touch with us. Good luck, guys. Bye-bye.